You've been here before a couple of times now, preparing for a championship game. Does anything change approach-wise, preparation-wise this week that you do differently other than earlier this season?
No, I mean nothing changed for us. If we were having to change something, then we weren't doing something right in the first 12 weeks of the season. So we're preparing this game as we do any other game. We know it's a big game that we got on Saturday. It's a great opponent, and so we're just preparing like we would any other game, and just knowing that just our attention to detail just has to be that much better.
They are very aggressive defensively. What are you seeing on tape when you watch them, and how do you get in that mindset of knowing every snap they're coming after you?
Yeah, their front four is where they go in their defense, and it's backed up by great players behind them. But they don't pressure much as far as blitzes. They like to get after the quarterback with their front four. I think they lead the conference with 43 sacks, I think it is. And so we know our O-linemen have a challenge in front of them. And for me, that just means I have to get the ball just that much quicker. And when I do get the ball out, our playmakers have to go make plays. They don't do a lot in the back end to confuse us as a quarterback or anyone else, but more so they just play ball. That's what we like to do is once the ball goes down, we just play. I think if we can handle up the front four, it's going to be a good game.
How much, when you watch them on tape, and obviously the front is different, whatever, but how much do you see your defense in the way that they're constantly coming after you and playing downhill?
Yeah, no. They play fly around, attack the ball football. And that's how we preach it here. That's all we preach here. There's a lot of similarities in the way they go about their games, the way they play their football. And, I think that, like their defense and our defense, it's really just about attacking the ball and how do they get the ball as quick as we can.
Des, talk about what it's like for this game Saturday, knowing you're one of the 33 seniors on this team. Talk about what it's like for one more time here at Nippert Stadium.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a special moment. Our senior night was 2 weeks ago, and that was our last guaranteed opportunity to play here in Nippert. And obviously we wanted to beat ECU and know that we have another opportunity to play here. But to know that this is really truly our last one, it's going to be a special moment for all of us to kind of take in pregame and take in right there before the ball's kicked off. But once the ball's kicked off, it's football how it is every other week. And then hopefully, at the end we can be celebrating with everyone else in the stands.
Des, is there anything you need to tell the team as the senior, and kind of what needs to happen going into these championship games? Is there anything you got to tell the younger guys to get them prepared?
I'll just tell them, and it'll really start today at practice, that everything we do at practice, like I said earlier, just has to be attention to detail, and just the finer things and the points, and where you might slack off on a play, we can't have that. Everything has to be 100%, everything that we do. And we know that the things we do today and the things we do tomorrow in our bulk of practices, it's going to show up on Saturday. So like I said earlier, though, we haven't changed anything that we've done. We're not doing anything extra. And we're just going to keep it pushing until Saturday.
You've heard Coach talk all year about blocking out the outside distractions. When some of those distractions change, is it reassuring to see that he's still reacting the same way as he was when it was talking about rankings as he might when it's job speculation or something like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Coach Fig does a great job of keeping the outside world and the outside media, outside of this building and outside of this team. Once all of us step foot into Linder, it's all about business and it's all about ball and nothing really else matters. So I think he does a great job of handling himself. And then it kind of just filters down throughout the program, throughout the players, throughout the coaches. We're just focused on the game on Saturday. That's all his attention's on, so that's all our attention's on.
Has anyone ever tempted to send him something or ask him something?
No, I don't think so. Some people might joke about it, but we all know Coach Fig loves us at the end of the day. His decision's his decision, but like I said, we're focused on Saturday, and we're just excited to go out there and play.
You spent a little time with Jordan Palmer. One, how did you make that connection? And two, what were some of the things that he thought were important for you to know in terms of playing the quarterback position?
Yeah, so I think we made that connection. It was early off season before last season, and we've kind of just kept it. Obviously I've been out there a couple times to go work with them, and then all throughout this past season, or this season, excuse me, We have a Zoom that's like mostly once a week that we just hop on. Sometimes it's breaking down mechanics, and then sometimes it's really just talking about the game of football and the way we go about preparing things, and my attitude towards the game and how I go about my game. And I really feel like he's just benefited me and just having an extra ear just to be able to bounce ideas off of and just be able to listen to, because he's worked with a lot of great players, a lot of great NFL players. He's had a lot of people in his corner, and so just having another guy to just be able to help me in my journey and my success, it just makes my job a lot easier.
Has there been any one suggestion he has made that you've put into practice that's really worked and helped you?
Yeah, and me and Coach Gino had sat down kind of mid-season and talked about it as well, but it's just being aggressive. And not only that, but being aggressive effectively. And the way you do that is, obviously extended plays. And the way we talked about it, I think it was 2 weeks ago when we talked, he said, in each play that you run, whether it's a run play, whether it's a pass play, whether it's an RPO, how can you get the most out of each play? But like I said, also do it effectively. So, whether that's scrambling and making a play downfield, it's scrambling and making a play downfield, but not throwing it into double coverage. It's taking those RPOs when they're given to you. And like I said, me and Coach Gino had that conversation midway through the season as well. But, sometimes it just takes hearing it from another person to actually kick in for you.
You might have heard Coach Fick's answer, so I hope you don't just steal it. But you saw the transformation from 4-8 year one to 3 straight conference championships. What's the biggest reason for that, in your opinion?
Yeah, I would say earlier in those years, in the 2018, 2019 years, it was really in the transformation from 2017 to 2018. It was really working on the brotherhood within the locker room, because I think there were a lot of great guys in that locker room, and all those guys were good friends and that this and that. But once they stepped on the football field, it was a little different mentality for them. Whether that was being selfish or got to make the plays that I need to make, and it really changed to where. Obviously, we're all still good brothers. We do anything for each other. But now we know that, obviously football is a game where, 11 people have to play as one. And then we talk about 3 units playing as one as well, offense, defense, and special teams. And I think everyone has bought into that, all throughout the past couple of years. And we know that everyone has to do their job to make this team successful. And that's where I felt like we've just benefited from over the past couple of years. And now coming into this year, we have, a buttload of seniors that have been here for a long time, have played a lot of football. So hopefully that we can take what we know and, our knowledge of the game and how to be successful and pass it down to the younger guys.
What sparked that change kind of from, more together, more selfless as a whole team?
I mean, it wasn't an overnight thing, that's for sure. I know Coach Brady has a lot to take into that from some of the workouts he put us through together that, in some of those winter and summer workouts, it really sees who wants to be like a part of this brotherhood, who wants to be a part of this team. And just seeing guys work day in and day out to work their butts off to be the best players that they can be for this team. And then, having some of your best players play on special teams, as Coach Fick preaches, we're going to put our best players on special teams, where some teams would have their best players just kind of, play one side of the ball. So seeing some of the best players, sacrifice, I'm not going to say their bodies, but their bodies on special teams to do what we need to do to have a complete team, I think it's really what's made this team great. I feel like I'm one of the best players on the team, and I ask Coach Fig all the time why he hasn't put me on special teams. And, we're on game 13. I'm still working my way there. But, hopefully I'll get there one day.
What special teams would you be on?
I might be a kick returner. I'll go block for Trey. Kick off, I'll go run down there and hit somebody. I could be a gunner, get down there, make a play.
Did you go into the wedge, like Huber, Royer style?
Maybe on pump block. I'm lengthy. I might get in there and try to pump block. But no, all those guys do a great job of preparing week in and week out. Like I said, that's something I don't even know about. We don't as quarterbacks. We don't go in the special teams meeting. So I have great appreciation for, all the guys on the special teams, whether that be a walk-on or whether that be a 6-year senior. So, it's just great appreciation for everything they do.
Speaking of Royer, how awesome was it to see him get that moment?
Oh, it was great. We came in here on Sunday and turned on the film during our team meeting, and we saw him get the field goal block and come over, and he's jumping up and down on the sidelines. And then you go back and watch the film, and he I think jumps about, about that high off the ground, but then, he goes up and runs and chest bumps Coach Mason and basically about runs him over. And, just the energy that Royer provides to our team on a daily basis is, what keeps a lot of us going.
There are so many people outside your program who've been talking about playoffs, national championships all year. You've been consistent to talk about the conference championship and the championship that you have. Why is this so important to you in this football?
Because this is something that we've, only had a chance to get, all throughout since I've been here and all throughout, I think the years of Cincinnati. All we've been wanting to do is play for conference championships, whether that was when I first got here and, that wasn't even realistic when we were 4-8 to, that 2018 season when it was just, right there. And then 2019 when we're playing back-to-back in Memphis and, we come up just short. And then obviously last year being able to play in the conference championship, play here at home and actually win it. It's just something that we've been striving for ever since, I've got here. And it's something that Coach Fick has preached ever since he's got here. A national championship is on the minds of the big dogs of the Clemson, Alabamas, and Georgias every year. I don't know, I'm obviously not in their program, so I don't know how much they care about a conference championship. But for us, that's one of the biggest things in our program.
Do you have any thoughts on what goes through your brain when you see the amount of money that's being thrown around at head coaches right now, or have you not seen much of that?
Nah, I'm a player, so I'm not really worried about what coaches are getting paid. That doesn't come down to us or what we see. So I'm not. I did actually see the some of the benefits that Coach Riley got out there at USC, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So
10 years, $95 million make you want to get into coaching, right?
Yeah, but I know as being a quarterback and obviously my preparation being taken to the next level, and over the years I've kind of seen obviously Coach Gino and how he goes about his things, and having a family, it's definitely difficult being a coach, having a family, because they do spend a lot of time here and a lot of time away from their family. And like I said, me having a family now, being a quarterback, who you can call as like a mini coach, and the time I spend here, and like I say, I get up before she wakes up and I get home when she's already in bed, so it's definitely tough.
Did you ever imagine when you came here to play quarterback you'd be carrying a tray of cheese carved into the shape of a turkey?
No, I never did imagine that. That was a fun little night that I spent with the O-linemen, and the little deal that they got with Skyline when they had some good food. That turkey might not have looked heavy, but that was about a 40-pound turkey of cheese, or cheese of turkey. But that was pretty cool that they did.
Was it good food?
Skyline? Yeah, Skyline's always good food.
Any other questions for Dev?
Yes, you played your first conference championship in front of a hostile Memphis crowd, and then last year you got to play in front of a partial home crowd. What does it mean to play your final game at Nippert Stadium, play for a conference championship in front of a full crowd?
I was just talking to Katie George, who's going to be our sideline reporter, and I said the same thing. I was like, I've played in front of a full crowd, but it was at an away game. And then last year was about 25% crowd, and so it's definitely going to be an exciting and a surreal experience to come here to a sold out Nippert Stadium, and I know the fans are going to be rocking, and it's just going to be one that we're going to have to take in real quick right there at the beginning, and then like I said, once the ball is placed down and ready to go, we're just going to go out and play football.
Thanks, Dev.
Yep, have a good one.